Vera, you've just signed a contract extension to stay on with the FAI and with the team. You must be excited.
Yeah, it's wonderful that we can keep going with this wonderful bunch of players, because we all feel that we're not finished with each other. Every game we are playing better and better and better, but obviously it wasn't good enough to qualify. The support from fans, from the media, also from all my colleagues, my staff, and in the first place, of course, all the players. It's been wonderful in that sense. So there was not much thought about it to extend this. I belong to this team still, and so I'm delighted that we can go on with each other.
You obviously feel there's a lot more still to come from the team itself.
Mm-hmm. This team hasn't reached their ceiling yet, and we don't know where the ceiling is, because if you play every game better, apart from the Greece game where we missed 5 players of the lineup, and the other ones did fantastically, we almost got it even there. But if you look at the whole campaign, although we were first ahead of others on top of the group, we all knew that the games against Germany we couldn't count. So in the planning, it made as if we were playing less, but in fact, we were playing better and better. And our last game against Germany was the best game ever, as everybody said.
There were so many positives in the campaign, wasn't there? Like some of the performances, as you mentioned, and we also had 2 record crowds when we did able to have crowds in Tallaght. So you can see there was so many people bought into what the team wanted to do and where it was going. Like that positivity, is that what attracts you to staying in the role?
Yeah, and my connection with the players and my staff and my colleagues. And then, of course, also the fans, although we missed them for the second part of the campaign in the stadium, but through social media, through the media, we all felt such a togetherness. It was as if everybody together wants this game to move forward and to go to new heights. And that is so, how do you say that triggers to find that way ahead. And I didn't want to miss them, and then didn't want to miss the journey, and obviously didn't want me to miss it. So it's a good join together, and I'm looking forward to a fantastic few years with them.
The next target is the World Cup in 2023. Your contract will bring you up to the end of qualifying and then into the tournament itself. That's something to really look forward to, isn't it? The World Cup now in Australia and New Zealand.
That will be massive. Yeah, that would be massive. That would be a very special World Cup because of the territory where we go to. It's never been in that area. No huge tournament has ever been held in that area. And the way that they're approaching it now already, it will exceed France in 2019. So it will be massive. We need to have a little bit of luck with the draw. That will be on the 30th of April. You need to have a team on the top, the first seeded team. That should be a team that you actually have a chance to play against. And if you have the luck to have that, then you can steal points from each other. So it would not then come to one game, and that would then again be, if it is an unbeatable team, it will be the second away game against our competitor for the second place. So we hope that we get a group in which all the teams can steal points from each other, because then your real strength is coming forward, and then the right team is qualifying.
The qualifying for that tournament will start in September. Before then, you should have some friendly games, which will actually be your first friendly games with the Ireland team.
Part because of COVID, part because of the planning that, with all respect, Colin Bell made. He made a planning in which we had only qualifiers during slots and no space for friendlies. There was one little space for a friendly that we immediately took, but then COVID kicked in and we couldn't organize it. So in fact, it is the truth that there's players that I've never seen playing in an official game in our environment. And we really need that, because you can only see the limits and only can see who would be maybe the best option in the best balance when we play in this environment. So I'm very happy that we're very active in getting games. And the setup is that we have very strong teams, but also the teams that those players can really show themselves. And we're almost there. It's getting there. We had a few major options, but again, COVID stops us from announcing it already because of all the restrictions that are there.
Vera, I think everybody will agree that it's great to have you on board for the future, and it's a good positive time for Irish football.
Thank you very much. But it's likewise. I'm very excited to stay part of this fantastic environment. The enthusiasm, the professionalism, I've never experienced that before in the extent that I've experienced it this year. Because we grow with each other, and everybody gives their best, and the quality of the people around me makes that I'm so excited, and I have to trust that we get everything out of the Irish players in the very near future. As I explained before, we grow from step by step, and we haven't fallen back, and we are the only team that during the COVID period have grown, probably because we had 0 cases of infections, and that's a major compliment to the players and to our medical staff, who has been on the players constantly and what they should do and should not do. And if everybody keeps those restrictions of the HSC on board and listen to our doctor, so that we will all stay healthy and we can all move forward within all the possibilities that we have, and the restrictions that are quite right so there, then I'm sure that we will be ready in September.